Hi, everybody. Welcome to Kudos for Spilling. I'm your host, Tanya Tsunami. Welcome to season 2. And we're going to kick it off with one of the fiercest queens that I've ever met in my
Oh,
entire life.
true.
Worship her.
Hi.
Welcome, Worship her.
Shalom.
Thank you for being on the show. Now, I did not tell a lie. You are one of the fiercest queens that I know, and you are multi talented. You are a singer, a drummer, a drag queen, a
Yes.
DJ.
Yes.
You are multi talented and you do it at a very high level.
Thank
And I am
you.
so happy to have you on the show and to kick off the season of Kudos for Spelling.
Congratulations on another season.
Thank you, baby. Thank you.
Yeah. You're doing the work, honey.
Yes, and I'm, again, so happy to have you on. So,
My pleasure. It's my honor.
would you like to introduce yourself in your own words? I mean, I could,
Sure.
blow smoke all day.
I don't mind that.
Yeah, well,
Sure. My name is WorshipHer. I am a New York City-based drag queen. I started drag about 5 years ago, and since then, it's just been a whirlwind roller coaster. I've used my background in music and theater to propel my drag forward. Drag is the vehicle for everything.
mhm.
I started a band called the Bad Judies. We're New York's only drag band. We have a residency on Fire Island and in Hell's Kitchen. We've played multiple stages that are pretty large and in charge. We've been able to work with a multitude of drag race queens as a result of this, the ones who sing, more or less. And yeah, I perform regularly, and just a working girl. I'm a working girl in New York City.
You are, and you are one of the greatest, and you are also the current reigning mix kink.
That's true. I won this title of Mix Kink last year. I think probably it's the pinnacle of my drag up until this point in terms of aesthetic. Um, I won the competition by dressing up as a huge toilet bowl and doing an entire scat number. That was my kink. And I recreated the prom scene from Carrie, but instead of blood, it was shit. Um,
Amazing.
and I have seen
Unbelievable.
I have seen that design replicated in many different ways. So I'm happy that I was the first one to have done that. And I worked with a team of very talented drag queens and drag artists. One of them is Lori Lou,
Yes,
who's a drag queen here, and she helped me design that gown.
she's great.
Um, oh my God, she's my sister. I love her. Um, yeah, and she won Miss Comedy Queen in New York City.
Right.
So
Yes. Yes,
yeah,
she did.
so we're just a bunch of title holder pageant girlies, whatever. Um, but yeah, mixed kink kind of was a jumping off point for me because from there I was able to start producing parties, and
Right,
that's
you do that too.
a lot of what I do now out of drag.
Yes.
Um, I have a whole other persona that we could talk about later. Um,
And we will.
yes. But yeah, so mixed kink was a huge like milestone for me as in a New York career sense.
Yeah.
And I'm just keeping the party going. I have multiple parties that happen here and Fire Island. So yeah, it's just a whole lot of work, and I
Of
enjoy
course.
doing it. I enjoy doing it.
So Worship, are you from New York City?
I'm not from the city, but I was born and raised in New York. My whole
Okay.
family, like my great grandparents, came here and settled in Brooklyn a million years ago. And
Right, yeah.
so, yeah, I was born in Brooklyn.
Okay.
Yeah,
All
grew
right.
up on
So
Long
she is a New
Island.
York City queen.
Yeah, I've lived in every single borough except Staten Island,
Don't
and
the don't.
it's okay. Staten Island's okay.
Okay.
One of the hottest hookups I've ever had was in Staten Island.
Well, I
So.
didn't say we didn't give good ass.
Is there anything else that needs to qualify Staten
No,
Island?
absolutely not, actually,
No.
I guess.
Yeah.
No, but, that's I wanted to know that because I've seen you live so many times. We've worked together even.
Yeah.
And, you know, you just you never have the time for me, so
What are you
I'm just
starting? Well, I'm
kidding.
here now, girl. Live in the present.
I'm just kidding. No, I'm totally kidding. You are you're amazing. You're such a professional, and
Thank you.
your stage presence is unbelievable. I would not have guessed that you have only been doing drag 5 years, but you've
Yeah.
obviously been, went at it full throttle.
Yeah, it was that turning point. It happened just before COVID, and then after COVID,
Mhm.
I was like, I either need to do this 100% or just not do it at all.
Right.
Mainly because I was unemployed, and I was like, how can I do something that I enjoy and make money from it? It
Yeah.
really helps. I don't have a drag family per se, but it really helps to have the sisters that I have, like
Yes.
my drag sister Wesley, my other Judy Lyra Vega,
Yep.
like all the queens that have helped me get to where there are like that's yes, it all comes from within, but I couldn't have done it. I can't be doing any of this without the help of the other queens
Of
that I
course.
surround myself with, for sure.
Yeah,
Yep.
absolutely. And I mean, well, both queens that you just named have been on the show as well.
Yeah.
You
They're
know,
fun.
yeah. So the they're your band is just amazing. So
Thank you.
so talented. All of you are amazing. And
I have to come on this podcast more often. All you're doing is complimenting everything that I
that's
do.
my thing. I'm everyone's biggest fan. But there's
You are, and you do come to support a lot. So thank you. Thank
Oh,
you.
of
Thank you. Thank
course.
you.
It's my pleasure. And yeah, your shows are just always a good time. I tell Wesley that that's when I like really just need to get out and get away, I come to a Bad Judy show.
Yeah, for
And
sure. I
I
like
hope
to
that
say
makes you
that.
feel good because like
Yes, I'd like to say that we're the greatest drag show you've never seen. You probably heard of us, but you just never come to our show. So get to
everybody
our fucking
should.
show. Just get
Yes.
to our fucking show.
I mean anybody that I've brought, and I've brought many people
You have.
to
You've been a very good patron.
Well, I mean, everybody says the same thing, just how amazing, and not just you guys as a band, but also individually as
Thank
artists.
you.
And
I think also a strong suit. We have a really good. We've just been doing this for so long together that we just have a really good back and forth, a good banter.
you do.
We
Yeah.
just we know we if the music didn't happen, we didn't do any live performance, I bet we could still put on a good show. Just
Yeah,
talking. Just
you
talking on
definitely
stage.
could. I could vouch for that. Yeah. Um, so you turn looks, you're very funny,
Thank you.
you obviously you're a musician, you're the drummer of the Bad Judies, and you also sing. Um,
Yes.
so and you mentioned having a theater background. So like what were the maybe inspirations or conduits that got you to like combine those loves and I guess express it in the form of drag?
Yeah. So I think the biggest inspiration is my father.
Okay.
He was a professional percussion musician for his
Awesome.
entire life. And that's where I learned music. When I was, as soon as I could sit up, my mother's a beautiful professional pianist. And
Wow.
yeah, so to having two parents as musicians, like the second I could sit up, they had me at a piano. I've been playing drums all my life with my dad, and
That's amazing.
he, my entire 20s, I was a hot mess, and
Me too.
trying to formulate what I wanted to actually do. My dad gave me the advice that he was a musician, but then he wanted to have a family. He needed to make a little more money, so he put his focus on education, but music
Mhm.
education. So he's like, you can still do what you want to do if you could just figure out a way to leverage it and have a vehicle that allows you to do it, but you're making money.
Right.
So I was like, okay, I could do all these things in drag. Drag is the vehicle. And it was his support and motivation, and honestly, all the knowledge of music that he gave me, that helped me get through this and get to where I am. When I was, I think like 9 or 10, he just completely took me out of school because there was the chance that I was audition. I got a call to audition to perform at Lincoln Center as a boy soprano, and he
Wow.
took me out of school for like 2.5 to 3 weeks. He's like, "Fuck this. this is more important. And we just spent every day going into the city, taking lessons and auditioning for this role that I didn't get, but I came in second. Like it was between me and this other kid.
Wow.
But
That's
I'll always,
amazing.
yeah, and I'll always remember that, and always remember like the principles of that entire lesson, I guess, which is like just all of that bullshit, like all schooling, all that stuff, like that's great, but you gotta just, if there's an opportunity, you gotta
Yes.
seize it, you gotta take it. That's like kind of what I did with Mixed Kink, is like I found that opportunity. I ended up winning and getting on a platform, and then I just plowed through, and I'm like, all right, how can I keep this ball rolling?
Yeah, the momentum,
Yeah.
keep it going.
Yes, yes, yes.
Yeah. And you obviously, I mean, you seem to have done an amazing job. And, you are such an electrifying entertainer. I have to
Oh,
say,
thank
if any,
you.
if, like nobody's been to a Bad Judy show, that's you're missing out and get to one right away.
Thank you.
um,
It's funny, I will say that, a lot of people tell me that I'm a little withheld out of drag, that I'm a little stoic, or a little kind of like, I could be very, very quiet. But the second I'm in drag and on a microphone, I just love talking, being
yeah,
witty, having a back and forth, making fun of people.
yeah.
So, yeah.
Yeah, and I'm always willing to be one of the victims, you
And
know?
you are,
And
yeah.
I am. She's like, "It doesn't matter if you're willing.
Yeah.
It's gonna happen anyway. Did I need your permission?"
You
Uh,
signed the waiver.
I did. Definitely. Um, I wanted to ask you, you're such a talented musician. Do you have or do you plan on having any, original music?
It's funny when in my early 20s, my friend found fame being a musician. She had a whole record deal. She was touring the world. And I was like, you know what? I want to see what this is about. And I moved to LA,
Okay.
lived on her couch, and produced music with her and her boyfriend. And it was a weird, whatever I was producing was weird and experimental, and like I never did anything with it. I made the music, but I didn't really push it.
Mhm.
I mean, I got some notoriety for it, but that was like such an era of my life, like my early 20s. I was this
Right.
weird. Come out not too long. Like I came out when I was 20 years old, so this wasn't too far after that.
Okay.
And I'm such a different person now that yes, I would love to put out original music. It would be way different than that. I'm more into like electronic dance.
Yes.
There's a huge trend right now of just really, really dumb gay sex club music,
Yeah.
where it's just
Yeah.
like a beat, and then at the end of the phrase it'll just be someone being like, I stole your car and now I'm gonna fuck you. And it's just like that's the trend right now. And it's like I kind of want to do that because it's so stupid. But we'll see what happens. Yeah.
I mean, I can only imagine, your lyrics would be
Yeah.
phenomenal.
Well, I had a sugar daddy for a really long time, and that was such a formative part of my 20s. So I've always wanted to write music about that. Like how he won't die, and
Oh my god!
how I've just been like spending
The
spending all his
world
money. And
needs that!
yeah, so we'll
Please.
we'll see. That's like on the back burner right now.
Oh my god, that's amazing.
Yeah,
That is something that yes, sell me the tickets. Where do
yeah.
I'm coming to that show.
Well,
That's
something the Judies have said is that whenever we're ready to pull the trigger, we're going to put our original live music at our shows and perform it. And we're
that
just
sounds amazing. You
we're just
should for
we're just
sure.
yeah we're just waiting to do it. I don't know why we haven't, but
Well, you do perform one original, don't you? Every
well,
night?
I make really stupid, like I would never record these
Well,
songs, but like
no,
really
but
stupid, like bar cabaret songs about dumb
yeah.
topics. Yeah.
Well, there's one that you play at the Bad Judy show that I've like I know every word, so
I do. I see you singing the lyrics to that. Yeah.
Oh, I'm surprised you could see anything under that spotlight, honestly. But, that sounds so awesome because you'd be incorporating not just, like, music and, like, but,
Yeah.
like, that hilarious side of you, Um,
Yeah. I
because
agree.
you are quite the comedy queen.
Thank you.
Yeah. You
Yeah,
are,
it's a dry, dark sense of humor, but
which is my type, which I
it's
love.
there. Yeah.
Yeah, it's there. No, it certainly is. I mean, I think that you you're an amazing host
Thank
too.
you.
So
Thank you.
you're just like you're so well rounded. So I would love to hear any of your music, no matter how dumb you say the lyrics might
Thank you.
be. But
Yeah, I need
you
to
know I'm
get I
into that dumb
basically
shit. I'm into
oh, yeah,
that
for
dumb
sure.
bimbo shit. You know that.
Yeah. I need to get you to vocally prompt ChatGPT to make a resume for me because you're you're really good. I need you to, like,
I don't
talk
need
to it.
Chat GPT, baby.
Yeah.
You know, I'm in my 30s, so I'm still
Work.
typing shit out. Yeah, but I so any besides like, planning on doing music with the Bad Judies, like, all your guys' original stuff. Um, is there anything else that, like, you're planning on in the near future that you would like to get done or stuff you did I think that you mentioned that show you were auditioning for things. Anything
I
that you could
am.
mention that you would like
Yeah,
to share?
so I have luckily I have a talent agent and they get me auditions for a bunch of shit. I actually did I was an extra in drag for a film that I never ended up seeing, but there were a couple of like famous people in it who I personally just don't know because I don't watch like TV. They were like some TV personalities. Anyway, so I've done like some extra work in drag. I've auditioned in drag for like a lot of things. There was a CSI or Law and Order where they needed a drag queen. You know, I've auditioned for things like that. But the last thing I did was this HBO. Well, the last audition was an HBO show, but that was all out of drag.
Mhm.
So there's a whole boy persona of me, that is trying to do things as well.
So,
Yeah.
do you we can we talk about that? Your
Yeah,
boy
sure. Yeah,
persona.
of course. I wasn't sure, like, because this is the drag interview, so I wasn't sure.
Well, this is to platform anything that has
Oh,
to do with you.
yeah, for sure. Thank you.
Of course.
So I have just me out of drag and my, legal birth name and all that stuff, where I audition and there's all that good stuff. And then I have another persona. Ugh, I have to like keep track. Uh, which is my like nightlife male, persona who hosts parties, a lot of sex parties. I make content. I actually like created this brand of sort of like a university where it's all about porn and coaching and things like that.
Yeah.
And that is under the name Big Dick Clark. And under that name, I host parties in the city and in Fire Island. So yeah, that's like that also sprung from winning Mixed Kink.
Oh, wow.
Because the prize package for that was to host a party. You're able to, with the production, with Leather and Lace, who produces the pageant, you were able to co-produce a party together. So I ended up throwing one, and it was a real success. So that also was a momentum thing, and now I'm just capitalizing on that.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
I would urge everybody to look you up under the Big Dude Clark persona because not only are you gorgeous in drag, but you are
Oh,
gorgeous out of drag. And
thank you.
that's just being 100% honest.
You can do the split screen right now in the episode if you
Yeah,
want.
all right. So we're gonna add a
Maybe
picture.
not the just for fans split screen, but maybe like my headshot or something.
Yeah, no, I'll definitely like people have to see you out of drag because people like do,
Oh,
like people have stood next to you. I'm like, do you know who this is? Like, you get out of drag quick. Actually, you get out of drag very quickly, which is something I'm like that's very impressive.
I just
And
got read the fuck down earlier as I was getting
I,
into drag. There was a
what do you
drag
mean?
queen sitting. There's a drag queen sitting at the bar, and I kept coming out of the dressing room, and they were like, "You love to not be in drag," because I just kept coming out in like pieces, and I was like, "Stop reading me."
Oh my god. No, but you get out of drag so quickly that like
Yeah.
I've brought people to the shows and they just start talking to me. I'm like, "Do you know this is worship?" and they don't even know.
Yeah, that's
They're
I
like,
remember that happened at the last show. I was
yeah, oh
standing
my
next to your
god.
friend and they were like, "Okay, creepy guy." And I was like, "No, no, no, you just watched me
I was like,
perform."
this is yeah, and that person kept saying it's not fair that you're
Right.
gorgeous as a male and a female. So
And it's not fair.
it's not fair. It's
No.
not fair to the rest of us, and you should apologize profusely. You know, listen, lucky you. So,
We're all
uh,
blessed. We're all
yes,
blessed.
absolutely. And I think that the community that you hang out with and the group that you're a part of that I've seen um in New York City is just very positive and supporting, and
Yeah.
that's really important. That's so important,
Yeah, it's funny you should mention that because I don't hang out with like I don't even know if in New York City there's one drag clique. There are a lot of groups of friends,
Yeah,
but I don't really like go to drag shows. I used to. I
yeah.
used to, but I feel like I'm actually very removed from the drag scene. I have the Judies, I do my one-offs, but I don't know. And the people that I hang out with, a lot of them just aren't even they have nothing to do with drag. They're in nightlife and they have their careers and their personas and things like that. But
But there's still
I just
community.
yeah, of course. And
Yeah.
I know by saying this, it's the opposite of what I'm trying to say. Like it's not cool, but they're all like cool. I like hanging out with just like a cool group of people.
It's a yeah,
You
of
know what I mean?
course.
It's just
Right.
like, yeah,
Yeah, I
they're
mean,
all just doing their thing.
right. It doesn't matter. Yeah, it doesn't matter if you're gay, straight, or bi, lesbian, and
Right.
transgender life.
Yeah. And like I'm not solely homosexual. I'm poly, I'm pan. I I play with all the colors of the crayon box.
Oh, you can't tell me that, bitch.
Well, if you came to one of my parties, you'd know.
Well,
I I
I might
host
just have to make one.
yeah, I just started a new party that's a swingers polypan party, so it's for literally everyone. I feel like there isn't a party that is for everyone. Like literally at this party, there
No,
were
I feel like that's something that I have been like looking for and not
yeah,
finding. So
yeah, there was at this part at the last. It was our first. It was our premiere party. There were hetero couples, queer, queer couples, trans men, trans women. Like everyone was in one space
yeah,
and doing whatever the fuck they wanted. So
that's
I thought that was
amazing.
kind of cool. Yeah,
That's so amazing.
yeah,
That's I think being queer is so special. Being part of
yeah.
like just that whole umbrella is so special. I can't say that being attracted to women has been such a fun time.
Oop.
But oh, there goes my light. Anyway, but it's okay. So
You
not
look great. You look great.
thank you. We're just gonna plug a light in real quick.
I'm gonna have a chip while you do that.
It's okay.
Ooh, there she is.
Ooh, cover girl. um. Anyway, thank you for sharing all of that. You do a lot, and like I said at the top of the show, you are so multi-talented, and you've told me things tonight that I didn't know, and is one of the reasons why I have wanted to have you on this show and interview you so
Yeah,
badly,
thank you.
because um you you do have your stage persona, and um uh you can't get to know a drag queen while they're like on stage, right? Like you're doing a show. That's so
Yeah,
I wanted to like ask you a bunch of stuff about yourself, and
thank you.
like let the world know that
But I exist.
you exist, and you're here, and you're killing it, and you're
Thank
amazing.
you. I
And
guess I guess in sum, I guess what I want to the moral of the story of everything I'm trying to say is that I'm offering like unique spaces and unique programming. Like I feel like the Judies
yes,
is super unique. The
Yes.
parties that they're all mainly sex parties. The parties that I throw in the spaces that I create for people are unique, and that's just all that I'm trying to do. And that would translate to anything. It just happens to be sex parties and drag shows.
Oh,
But
oh,
you know,
which is great.
whatever it would be, I just want to create something that's new to New York, mainly because I've been here for so long, and
Right.
I feel like people who are here for maybe over 8 years, 10 years, they're like, oh yeah, we've seen it all.
We
Another
have.
dungeon, another dark room, another this, another that.
Yeah.
So I'm just trying to keep things moving and keep it fresh.
Yeah, and you are, and you're doing a great job, and thank
Thank you.
you, because New York does need that. As a lifelong New Yorker, I have to say it's
Yeah,
much welcomed and appreciated.
thank
And
you.
Worship, I know that you have a show because I actually have to start heading to it.
Yeah.
So can you let us know where we could find you on social media?
Sure. So I am at Worship Her Drag. Uh, the Bad Judies, the Bad Judies is our band. You'll be able to find me on Fire Island this summer on Thursday evenings. And on Wednesday evenings on Fire Island, as my Big Dick Clark persona, I'll be hosting a party that goes from happy hour till last man standing at the Ice Palace. And then you can find me at Big Dick Clark on Instagram, and that has a link to all my other platforms and socials as Clark. And then if you follow those links, you can see the parties that I throw and maybe see me there and meet me there and introduce yourselves.
Well, that sounds amazing. Thank you
Yeah,
so much for coming on the show.
thank you.
I'm so happy to have had you finally, and we're going to link everything below, and
Thank you.
yeah, and we're going to let the world know who Worship Her is.
Uh,
And Dick Clark, Big Dick
yes,
Clark.
I know
So
the famed Chanteuse, illustrious Chanteuse Castrata was like, "Bitch, why didn't you just name your male persona Worship Him?" And I was like, girl, I toyed with it. I thought about it,
did
but
you?
yeah, I did. But no, they're
I
totally
I
two separate things.
understand that. I
Yeah,
get that, wanting to keep it, separate.
yeah,
Totally. Yeah.
yeah.
Compartmentalize the personalities.
There are too many. Yeah, I definitely need to.
I
Yeah.
understand, baby. Well, I am going to see you in person very soon, so thank
Yes.
you so much again for being on the show,
Thank
and
you.
it's been a pleasure. So,
The
loved
pleasure
having
is
you.
all mine. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
This is a treat.
Oh, thank you
And
so
have me back
much.
anytime.
Yes, I would love to. And I
Yes.
will. I will.
Yes.
Okay. It's so good to see you.
I'll see you
Mwah.
soon, baby.
Yes.
Mwah.
See you soon. Kudos for spilling. Don't forget to hit that like, subscribe, and share button.